Namaste everyone. Let us start by observing a minute of silence. Welcome everyone to the guest talk titled Sākṣātkāra, Knowing Thyself, organized as a part of Ignited Talk series by Rashtam School of Public Leadership at Rishihood University. The objective of Sākṣātkāra is to take pause from the hustle and bustle of our daily lives and reflect on the nature of our own self in order to understand ourselves in a better way. It is an endeavor to bring forth ideas from the confluence of psychology and yoga in order to gain some important insights into the nature of our existence by bringing together ideas from both the respective fields. For this, we have with us Nitasha Sharma ji. Nitasha ji has expertise in diverse fields of knowledge. She is an accomplished trainer, consultant, certified lifestyle specialist, psychologist, singer, songwriter, and a yoga teacher. And this is truly a modern Renaissance figure, as we can say. After completing her post-graduation with specialization in clinical psychology, she has been associated with individuals and teams in India and abroad, facilitating their growth and promoting meaningful and holistic living. She has an experience spanning almost 2 decades in the field of behavioral sciences. She is a staunch believer of the pure potentiality that every individual is predisposed to and aims to help people realize and utilize this potential by employing tools from the field of yoga, psychology, and music. She is working on making a repository of Sanskrit rhymes for children based on Kendriya Sahitya Akademi Award winning book Shanah Shanah, written by our esteemed professor Shri Sampadanand Mishra ji. Let us all welcome Nitasha ji with a huge round of applause. I would request Dr. Sampadanand ji to present our guest. Okay. I would request Malaji to present our guest with the token of honor.
The token should be like this. If you just bless me, I think that's the biggest token.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Maybe have more people in the
Sākṣātkāra. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Absolutely. Thank you. This matches my dress today, doesn't it? I'm going to keep wearing it. What do you say?
Yeah, it looks
lovely.
And this also matches.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely.
Now I would request Nitasha ji to present us with her talk and enlighten us with her thoughts on this topic, and also sing a beautiful song for us. Okay, ma'am, come.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nila, for this very lengthy introduction. You could have just said this is Nitasha and she's going to talk to us. Nonetheless, well, I thank you. It's indeed an honor, a proud privilege, and an absolute pleasure for me to be standing right here amidst you all. It's such a esteemed gathering, people who want to delve deeper into their own selves. I think that's the creme de la creme of audiences that one can ever imagine to have. So I am blessed to be here. And every minute here on is going to be fun, because I don't do anything if there's no joy in it. So there has to be joy, there has to be fun, there has to be masti, and at the same time there has to be some learning, right? Because that's what we are here for too. Yes? Oh no. Oh no. मतलब ये yes भी जो था ना वो ऐसा था. ये तो बड़ी ही वो हो गई है ना. एक बार और ट्राई करते हैं. आर यू विद मी? हाँ, ये यहाँ से किसी की एक की आवाज आई. आपका नाम क्या है सर? सजित. बस सजित ने ही ब्रेकफास्ट. शविल. सृजन. एक सृजन ही है जिन्होंने शायद ब्रेकफास्ट खाया है. बाकी सबको बड़ी सख्त जरूरत है, लेकिन वेट करना पड़ेगा. एक और बार ट्राई करते हैं. प्लीज हैव योर सीट सृजन. एक और बार ट्राई. आर यू विद मी? यस. थोड़ा सा और. कम ऑन. आर यू रियली विद मी? यस. लवली. मुझे लग रहा है सबसे पहले तो मैं इसके पीछे ना ज्यादा देर खड़ी भी नहीं हो पाऊंगी. ये मेरे और आपके बीच में बहुत ज्यादा आ रहा है. तो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज आई विल टेक द माइक फ्रॉम देयर. और मुझे लग रहा है check, yeah. So, and I think what we have to do is first energize ourselves, all right? Because I think we really need to infuse a lot of positive energy into ourselves. Not that you're lacking it. I'm sure there's plenty and plenty and plenty of that already. But how about just a little more? Because there can not ever be enough of it, isn't it? So, are you ready for an activity? Yes. Right? All right. So, what we'll do is we'll make two teams. One team is going to be this side and one team is going to be this side. All right? So what I'm going to do is, you're going to say 1 and you're going to say 2. And then you'll say 1 and then you'll say 2. Right? Remember the number that you say though. All right?
2, 1.
2.
1.
2. 1. 2.
1,
2. 1. 2.
2,
1.
2.
Wonderful. All the ones, can you please come this side? You have to get up. Yes? बैठे बैठे नहीं होने वाला कुछ. 1 यहाँ पे, 2 यहाँ पे, है ना? यहाँ पे पास में, जहाँ पे आपको ज्यादा जगह मिल जाए. And you can make a circle. Try to make a circle amongst yourself. Wonderful. So a complete circle, and if you want, you can really remove your slippers to be a little more comfortable, because this might need a little bit of movement. Not a lot, but just a little bit. All right. So are we set? If you want to remove your slippers to be more comfortable, you're most welcome to do that. All right. So I would request all the twos to see what's happening here, because that's what we are going to replicate right there. So we are going to make a circle, hand in hand. You can see the circle, right? Yes. All right. Now this is the position that we want ourselves to be in. This is the end position. This is the outcome that we are looking for. This is the end result. I'm showing you the goal already. All right. Now you wonder what's the starting position then. Let go. All right. Now take your hands right in front. Crisscross. With my right hand, I'm going to hold the left hand of the person who's standing left to me, and like that, crisscrosses. And this is a tangled position right now. Yes? Now this is a tangled position, and this is not the position that we want to be in, but this is the starting position. Without letting go of the hands, is it possible for you to come to this position, that other position that we started off with? Letting go of your hands. No, I'm just showing. Oh, don't start. Don't start. Stop. I will say start, okay? You have to only start. So you join here now. Okay, position A. Now this is position A. Alright? आपको नीचे तो नहीं आना क्योंकि आप ऊपर सीढ़ी पे है ना, तो हो सकता है. Alright. अच्छा, अब मैं थोड़ी मुसीबत थोड़ा और बढ़ाऊं, है ना? आप बात भी नहीं कर सकते. You can't talk. No talking and no letting go of the hands. ठीक है? Nilab, I want your astute eyes to keep a check on both. So I would request you go that side and you keep a check here. हाथ कभी भी नहीं छूटना है. और दूसरा, बात भी नहीं करनी है. Alright, no talking and no letting go of the hands. These are the two things that are a must. Alright? Alright, this is team 1. Are you set? Oh, अभी से ही बात करनी बंद हो गई. All right. Okay. Team 2, are you set? Yes. Alrighty. So, on your mark, get set, go! Now और entangle No talking, sir. आइए. मेरे को ना आवाजें सुनाई दे रही हैं, पता? एक नया टीम मेंबर आया है. Suprabha, all right. Welcome to the session. Join right in.
Oh my God.
Have you done it? There's still one left. Lovely, lovely. All right, वो भी बस पहुंच ही गए. Done. I saw it. Very well done. अब क्या है? I want to really ensure that you've really cracked it. So I want you, both the teams, to get back to position A, the crisscross. Can you do it again? You can let go of the hands and come to the crisscross position. You can come to the starting. Yeah, the starting position. All right. So I want to really check if you've got it, if you've cracked it. Let us see if we can do it again. Because if you've got it, we'll crack it very quickly this time. All right. If you want now, you can talk. Talking aloud. All right. All right. And go.
And wait. Guys, raise your hand. Come. Aja. No, Rishihood, you need to let sir come this side. No, let sir come from this side. Yes. And now done. You just need to
Yeah.
Done. Good job there. Lovely. Yes, absolutely wonderful. Very well done. How about this side? You've done it? Yes. Last में थोड़ा सा हो रहा था, but we figured it out. है ना? Wonderful. A big round of applause for both the teams. Well done. And we'll come back to the seats now. Thank you for being such a wonderful sport. Both the teams did wonderfully well. You cracked a problem and you cracked it wide open and you got to the depths and the core of it and understood how it is we can solve it. Now I'm going to be quiet and I want to know what are your reflections as you did this exercise. Are there any takeaways that you think you have? And how is it even related in the least in terms of, getting ourselves better acquainted with ourselves? Is it? Do you see a connection? Anything? So I open the house and let us see. Yes, please. I'll start with you, sir. Will you take the mic?
Doesn't matter how twisted form our team is in, Pooja ji will always guide us.
A big round of applause for Pooja ji there. Really अच्छी लग रही है भाई. All right. Ajay, you were saying something? Here you are.
So I have three takeaways from this. I will enumerate them.
Yes.
The first takeaway is that the world can be an inherently messy and tangled place. The second takeaway is that it's often the people around us who cause the messiness and tangled nature of things. And the third thing is that it's the same people who will also help you untangle and get less messy if you cooperate with them.
That's wonderful. Please go ahead, sir.
Ma'am, I have two takeaways from this. One thing is, no matter how strong how difficult the problem is, it can always be solved with your friends. And teamwork reduces effort and increases productivity. Thank you, ma'am.
A round of applause for you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Shajan.
I have to really drill that. I'm asking you this the third time now, isn't it? All right. Yes.
So I learned something. So people who bring chaos in your life, if there are friends, keep holding hands with them. They will also help you get out of the problem.
Yes.
That's what my learning is from this exercise. Never leave hands of people who love you.
वो एक गाना है ना?
But ma'am, isn't it by leaving hands we could have done it like quickly?
ये तो गजब है. लेकिन लीव अगर हैंड्स करते थे तो वो सर्कल भी तो नहीं होता ना. We would have been an individual island, and man by nature is not an island, है ना? So by nature who are we? We are very social beings, है ना? तो हाँ हम कर तो सकते थे. हम अपना एक अलग वो बना लेते कि हो गया नो एंटैंगल्स. लेकिन एंटैंगलमेंट्स तो होंगी ही. एक मेरे जहन में एक शेर आ रहा है कि बहुत पहले ये दिमाग में आया जैसे ये सोच रहे हैं ना बिल्कुल वैसे ही कि उलझने तो वैसे ही बहुत हैं. तुम उलझने बढ़ाते क्यों हो, है ना? मतलब रिश्ते इतने हैं ऑलरेडी और रिश्ते बना के अपनी उलझनों को ही तो हम बढ़ा रहे हैं ना. तो रिश्ते तो बनेंगे और भी जो मांगेंगे रफू, जैसे कपड़ा फट जाता है ना तो उसको हम रफू करते हैं. तो रिश्ते तो बहुत बनेंगे जो रफू मांगेंगे और कुछ तो रफू नहीं पता नहीं क्या क्या मांगेंगे, है ना? उलझने बहुत है. तुम उलझने बढ़ाते क्यों हो? क्यों बढ़ाते हो? क्योंकि जीने का तरीका है. वी आर सोशल बींग्स. वी कांट लिव इन आइलैंड्स, है ना? सो इट्स गुड थॉट एंड समटाइम्स वी डू go that way. Because sometimes we have to be silent. Sometimes we need our own self-reflection, introspection, contemplation. And for that we need to be with ourselves too. So that is important too. There's no denying it. At the same time, it's important to make connections. And meaningful connections. Like you said. Right? All right.
And therefore also it said, together everyone achieves more.
Absolutely.
So team. Together, everyone achieves more.
Absolutely, Manaji. हाँ जी. इस साइड में क्या लेसन्स हैं? Anyone? आप बहुत अच्छी स्माइल कर रहे हो. मुझे लग रहा है आपके अंदर से कुछ आने वाला है. नहीं आएगा?
एक्टिविटी उसका डिफ्लेक्शन.
अच्छा ठीक है. Any other lessons, learnings, experiences that you'd like to share? Yes.
Talk less, observe more, experiment and see what works.
Experiment. That's a wonderful word you've used here. Experimentation. Big round of applause for her. इसमें एक बात मुझे और याद आ रही है. Till the time we don't experiment, we'll not know what is going to work or not. And at the same time, when something doesn't work, that doesn't mean that we're a failure. I strongly believe in, this is a motto for my life, and that motto is, there's no failure, only feedback. Now imagine a world. I want you to imagine it right now, right here, in your mind. Because that's the world that we create every minute. Our mind has enormous capacity, right? So imagine a world right now wherein you truly, deeply believe you can never, ever fail. It gives me goosebumps actually. Imagine isn't it? You can't, you just can't. But it's about here. You have to believe that here first. Because every time that doesn't work, gives us feedback for the next. And that's precious. Rather than categorizing ourselves and labeling ourselves and, beating ourselves up about something that didn't work, it's better to look at it, okay, I've got some feedback now. What about the next time? Let's gear up. Right? So there's experimentation, and with that, remember that there's no failure, only feedback. Can we say that all together? All right, together, in unison. We're very good team workers, as you see. So, 1, 2, 3, go.
No failure, only feedback.
All right, एक और बार करते हैं, साथ में आते हैं किसी तरीके से. ये मैं रिदम दे रही हूँ. No failure, only feedback. All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
No failure, only feedback.
अच्छा, अब हम रिदम में आ गए. अब इसमें इमोशन डालते हैं थोड़ा सा. थोड़ा अंदर से आए ना. आप एकदम जान डालिए उसमें. One more time.
No failure, only feedback.
Yes! Who was that? Feedback! Bada gazab. Very nice. All right. So, this is a very small little activity, but even that teaches us something, and teaches us something very deep. So, every single minute of our lives, we are surrounded by lessons. We are surrounded by experiences. We are surrounded by interactions and people from whom we can really learn something. In Japanese, they say, ichigo ichie. What does that mean? It means one encounter, one lifetime. Which basically means कि ये जो moment है ना, ये जो moment है, ये कभी recreate नहीं हो सकती. It is so special, and that is why it is also so precious. So I want to give it my all, because it is so precious. It is a blessed opportunity, right? It is this one encounter that I have with you, this eye contact that I have with you. This will stay with us forever. That is the interaction, right? And that is why we need to make it special. So very beautiful, so very special, isn't it? So ichigo ichi. So if we ingrain that inside of ourselves and think of it कि अभी यहाँ से चलते हुए जो भी moment आती है, वो एक moment है precious. How can I make the best of it? A beautiful moment, a wonderful moment, right? Can we do that? Can we really do that?
Yes.
Thank you. You can call me Nitasha. Okay? Shajjan. याद हो गया मुझे. Okay, let's take it forward. So, Sākṣātkāra, know thyself. I look at it as a blossoming, a conscious blossoming. Why? Because it is like the moment it is that we go deeper within and we unfurl the different parts of ourselves and knowing ourselves more layer by layer. It's like we blossom forth from within. And the divinity that resides deep inside us, in the very core, comes forth in every interaction, in every experience that we have. So it is like a conscious blossoming. And that's how I visualize it. So we're all these beautiful flowers blossoming forth, waiting to be blossoming. Yeah? Okay. Now I know that some of us don't have a pen or a paper, but some of us have. Those of you who have, I want you to just pick up your pen and a paper. If you don't, you can pick up your phones, and if you have an app on that, you can draw on that. If not, not a problem. I just want you to visualize. The power of the mind. Please come. Welcome. All right. So, what do we have to do? You will get only 10 seconds. I will count. I will do a countdown. And in those 10 seconds, you have to draw a tree. And it begins now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, fingers down. Done? Alright. Can you just show it to me? What beautiful, lovely, amazing. वाह वाह, ब्लू कलर की कितनी सुंदर ट्री है आपकी. नहीं अच्छी है. हाँ जी. लवली. आपने ये 10 सेकंड में बनाई है, पहले ही बनाना शुरू कर दिया था. ये बहुत डिटेलिंग है. उसमें फ्रूट्स भी हैं, उसमें लीव्स भी हैं, है ना? वंडरफुल, वंडरफुली डन. ऑलराइट, समवन एल्स हियर? या, कुड यू टैप इट? वाह, आपने कलर्स भी चेंज कर लिए, मतलब बाग का कलर और ट्री का कलर. वंडरफुल. 10 सेकंड में क्या क्या कर दिया आपने यहाँ पे? आपने भी कर दिया. वंडरफुल. इट इज ब्यूटिफुल. Wonderful. Thank you. Can you tap again? I can't see. ऊपर क्या है?
Technically sun, but sun बहुत ज़्यादा तीव्र हो गया.
अच्छा है. Very nice. हाँ जी. Lovely. Thank you. I'll come closer to you. I can't see it from here. हाँ जी. वाह. आपने 2 birds बनाई हैं या वो branches हैं उनके? All right. Have you? No. All right. All right. अच्छा. और जिन्होंने visualize किया है, what was your visualization like?
I had trunk and the typical tree that we draw in the school.
हाँ जी. हाँ जी. All right. What about you,
I
Malati?
had a banyan tree.
वो एरियल फ्रूट्स जो हैं वो लटक रहे हैं पुरानी सी, है ना?
बहुत सारी।
वाह, मेरे दिमाग में भी आ गई एकदम। लवली, सब आपका भी वही था। ऑलराइट, यहाँ पे आपने विजुअलाइज किया? हाँ जी।
A tree with multiple branches and very scanty but very big leaves.
Big leaves. मतलब आप जैसे बोल रहे हो मुझे लग रहा है आप देख पा रहे हो वो लीव्स यहाँ हैं. You could actually visualize it. Wonderful. All right. Now I want you to focus on one thing. I've seen so many drawings here, and out of say 10 or 12 drawings that I saw, sketches that I saw, only one person was able to make the roads. You did? Show me. Oh yes, you did. So there are two then. There's one here too, right? And even in our visualization sometimes, like we are conditioned, ये ऐसे और ये ऐसे, वो हमारी conditioning है, तो हमें वैसे दिखती है, या हमारी conditioning कुछ और भी हो सकती है, तो हमें वैसे दिखती है. तो हम कई बार what we do is we forget about one of the most important parts of the tree. It's roots. है ना? इम्पोर्टेंट तो है, बिल्कुल इम्पोर्टेंट है. अच्छा, अब इससे हमें क्या लेसन मिलता है? आप बोलोगे ये यही पूछती रहती हैं, लेकिन मैं यही करने आई हूँ. पता है क्या लेसन मिलता है इससे? समटाइम्स वी डू फॉरगेट द मोस्ट ऑब्वियस, द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? डज दैट हैपन विद अस टू? या से अ लिटिल मोर.
Focus on the externals more and ignoring what is there.
Absolutely. मतलब जो दिख रहा है, जो एक्सटर्नल है, उस पे हमारा फोकस होता है ना? क्योंकि वो दिख रहा है, it's right in front of us. And what is not visible, we take for granted and it goes somewhere in the backdrop. In the same way, there's so much inside each one of us. Fountains and fountains of bliss, and oceans of wisdom within each and every one of us, without any partiality. It's there, waiting to be unfurled. But sometimes we don't take a pause and unfurl to be able to go right in to that reservoir of bliss and wisdom and divinity. And so, I want this session to be just a pause. Why a pause? Because हम इतने बिजी हो जाते हैं ना, एक दिन से दूसरे दिन से तीसरे दिन, ये करना है, टू डू लिस्ट है, बहुत लंबी हो जाती है कई बार. So just a little pause to ask some questions to ourselves, to introspect, to contemplate, to reflect. And the questions that we ask create the worlds that we live in. So the questions also have to be deep. So what kind of questions am I talking about? So today, I'm going to share with you 5 questions. I'll make it very simple here. 5 questions. Let's start talking about those 5 questions. Now, what are these top 5 questions doing? They're empowering us to know ourselves deliberately, directly, deeply, divinely, and delightfully. Right? That is the whole idea. And the moment it is we delve deeper into that, asking those questions, we will see that layer by layer we unfurl our own self for ourselves and we become our own good friends. And that is the whole idea. Sākṣātkāra. It is deliberate, direct, deep, divine and delightful. है ना? जैसे मैं यहाँ बैठी हूँ, आप यहाँ बैठे और हमारी आपस में बात हो रही है, वैसे ही मेरे साथ भी तो बात होनी चाहिए, है ना? तो pause करके let's see if we can have that conversation with ourselves. Because it's important. अपने आप से ही बात नहीं की, तो फिर क्या? है ना? Alright. So let's go ahead. There is this very beautiful quote by the mother. I'd request someone to read it. Can you raise your hand? Who wants to read it? Yes.
To work for your perfection, the first step is to become conscious of yourself, of the different parts of your being and the respective activities. You must learn to distinguish these different parts from one from another, so that you may become clearly aware of the origin of the moments that occur in you, the many impulses, reactions and conflicting wills that drive you into action.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderfully put there. तो हमें ये क्यों करना है उसका आंसर फर्स्ट लाइन में ही हमें मिल जाता है. If we want to work towards our perfection, this instrument that we have, be it the mind, be it the body, if we really want to work towards making it a perfect instrument for what it is made, if we really want to do that, the first step is to become aware, being conscious of the different parts that exist within. Taking it forward. So we are pressing the first pause button right there in favor of raising our own awareness. And the question that we ask ourselves is, what am I experiencing? It's a very simple question on the peripheral if you look at it. But this question in itself is so deep that it can take us decades and decades and lifetimes to really understand what's going on. Who is the I? What is the experienced? Who is the experiencing? You know, all of that. So what am I experiencing? So I want you to take this pause button right now. What are we experiencing? Are there thoughts coming right up? Are there some emotions, some sensations in the body? Whatever it is, let's be conscious of that. Let's become aware of it. Yes, Ajay. Thoughts?
Yes, there's whole lists of them going on. So
Yeah, lots of them.
lots of them. It's similar to this car that you are shown on the screen.
Right. It's a whole traffic going.
Lots of thoughts blitzing past as in the image there.
Yeah. And are you able to identify? Are you able to spot, what is one thought carrying and what is the other thought carrying? Are you able to pause them, or are they just going?
I'm able to pause some of them, but most of them they seem fast.
They're just, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that. What about here?
Lots of perceptions.
Okay.
At physical level, at the level of thought, at the level of emotions. So I'm more in perceptive mode right now.
All right, thank you for sharing. Now the main idea of doing this is, Nila, I think I'll need your help. Can we just place this here at the middle? I'd like to be closer in the middle with everyone. Good timing, Malaji. क्योंकि अभी हम ये कर रहे हैं, म्यूजिक चाहिए था हमें. Good timing है ना?
कोई घोस्ट वहाँ से निकल के देखो आ गया.
मतलब एक फिलर भी नहीं छोड़ा आपने. हाँ जी. तो वापस आते हैं. तो what am I experiencing? Sometimes we are experiencing things from the outside. Like I see you, you see me. I use my eyes and I'm looking at you and you're looking at me. So you're seeing something. So there's that perception of the eyes. Right? Sometimes we are hearing something. Sometimes there is an influx of everything that's going on. Sometimes it's more internalized. Perceptions, cognitions, emotions, thoughts, feelings, and all of that. It is more inside. Even if there's nothing on the external, but there's something that's going inside. What I want to say here is, the one that experiences and the one that is being experienced, they are two different things. That is something that we have to be very clear about. कई बार हम बोलते हैं, I'm angry. अगर मुझे पता है कि एंगर है, तो इसका मतलब एंगर डिफरेंट है और मैं डिफरेंट हूँ. Just like there is a clicker in my hand right now, I know that this is the clicker right here, right? And I can see it. That means this is different and I'm different. है ना? Separate entities हो गए ना? उसी तरीके से जब हम अंदर हमारा जो एक विटनेस है, विटनेस कॉन्शियस, दृष्टा कहते हैं जिसे हम कई बार, या चित्त कहते हैं, जब वो विटनेस करता है कुछ, be it an emotion, be it a thought, be it a perception, be it a conditioned response, be it a behavior, be it a sensation, that means the witness is different and that being witnessed is different. So next time when we are feeling any of these emotions, it could be anger, it could be a lot of joy, it could be any, whatever it is. Let us see if we can see it as a witness, rather than being so merged with it that we forget who is who, because we are not that. Right? So can we do this as a practice? Every once in a while, let's take a pause. And it doesn't take a lot to take a pause. है ना? So what do? हमारा दिन चल रहा है और हमने एक pause बजाया अपना ही अंदर mind में, and we ask ourselves, what am I experiencing? That's a simple question. So simple, right? There's a flurry of thoughts, there are some perceptions and conditioning, and there's whatever it is. Let's take a pause and remember, they are not me, because I am different. Alright? Can we do that? Yeah? And does that make sense? Yes. So the one thing that we have to remember is, the witness is different, and each one of us has an inherent witness. We are that. Okay? So any emotion that we're experiencing, any urge that we are experiencing is different from us. And we can choose using the power of intellect and wisdom. We don't have to become that urge. We don't have to become that emotion. And we don't have to take every thought as truth. Because thoughts are thoughts, they are not facts. Thought तो कई आते हैं. Thought ये आ रहा है, I'm stupid. Now it is up to me if I believe it or not. It's just a thought, it's passing by. It's like leaves on a stream and they are passing by. So you can just observe them. एक गया, दूसरा गया, तीसरा गया. एक कार गई, दूसरी कार गई, तीसरी कार गई. जाएंगी, आएंगी. जैसे waves हैं ocean की. So there are a lot of analogies that we can give to be able to understand this. All the while knowing we as the witness are separate from that is being experienced or witnessed. Okay? So there's one question that we have here. Will we remember it? Yes. What am I experiencing? Let's take it forward. What I want to say here now is, sometimes what we're experiencing, for example, I'm looking at all of what's going on here, and how I look at it is very different from how you look at it. Even though it is the same everything, reality if I could say, but the reality that exists here for each one of us is very different. Why is it so? Any idea? Samskaras, our experiences, right? Because the mind here is full of a lot of these modifications and fluctuations and conditioning and perceptions and beliefs and values, and that's what makes it different. The experience of the same environment is very different for each one of us. We don't see the world as is, we see the world as we are. Right? And sometimes that is empowering, and many a times it is self-destructive, and which is very unfortunate. Because the lives that we want to create for ourselves or design for ourselves is a life which is full of empowerment and joy and bliss. But unfortunately, because of what's going on here in terms of how we are perceiving our reality, we make it difficult. So we sometimes create our own trouble. And that's the problem of perception being colored. I have this beautiful story which I was reminded today. आज मैंने कपड़े धोए सुबह. तो मैंने कहा मैं उनको सुखाती हूँ। तो मैं गई बाहर, तो बड़ी अच्छी छोटी सी एक बालकनी है ना यहाँ, तो मैंने वहाँ पे कपड़े डाले। तो फिर मुझे एक स्टोरी याद आई, मैंने कहा ये तो मुझे सुनानी पड़ेगी, ये तो मेरे पास आ ही गई है। So this is a story about a young couple who moved to a rural area, और उस rural area में already एक old couple रहते थे। Every day the old couple would get up in the morning and make this lovely cup of tea and आराम से बैठ के window के सामने अपना बैठ के चाय पियेंगे। So every day. Now when the young couple came in, they would wash their laundry, and right in front of the this window, the beautiful window that they have, वहाँ पे वो लगाएंगे। And every morning, the lady, the old couple में से जो lady हैं, वो कहेंगी, this young couple has moved to this surrounding, but पता है क्या? They don't know how to wash their laundry. See how dirty it is, है ना? ठीक है। So the husband would just listen, sip his tea, and think, चला जाएगा ऐसे। Next day again, फिर वही बात, तो वो बोलेंगी कि she still not learned, it's very dirty laundry. Third day again, fourth day again, and we came to the weekend, and then voila, एक दिन कपड़े एकदम चमक गए। So she was very excited, and she said, it seems like she's learned how to wash the laundry at last. Right? I wonder what happened, how she learned. So the husband says, I think I know. Yes! What happened was, it's not that it just got cleaned, the window was dirty. And I cleaned the window because it's a weekend and I got some time, so I cleaned the window. And the spots are vanishing right there. And there they are, again dirty. And of course we have to clean them up again and again and again. Right? So it was not actually the lady who didn't know how to wash the clothes, it was them who had to clean their windows. What's the takeaway?
So full of judgments.
Yeah. Yes.
Not everyone is as happy as they seem on Instagram.
All right, that's very interesting. Very intriguing. That is so intriguing for me. Shrajan, how are you connecting this? Please tell me. I'm so curious. How are you connecting this? I'm so curious. And I'm sure there is a connection.
I don't know.
All right, not everyone. We make a connection, don't worry. We can make connections anywhere. Don't worry. So thanks for sharing this. So not everyone is happy on Instagram as they seem. Can we connect it to that?
That's basically what filter in your life and what people do on Instagram.
There is a connection. There is a deep connection. There is a deep connection. And I think what you are saying is also very true. Because what we put up on the Instagram is so filtered, or even on Facebook, it's so filtered, it's not the reality of who it is that we are and what we are experiencing. So it is actually all colored right there with dark spots inside, but it is not visible to anyone, but it is right there. It's a deep connection. It's a very deep connection. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Yes. What else? How else can we connect this? I'm very curious. Yes.
I'd say our perceptions color judgment more often than not. So, for example, if somebody around me is Bollywood successful, if I made of envy and if I made of that kind of emotion, I wouldn't be happy. I'd think, you know what, he's successful because he cheated, he's successful because he did something that he shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
So, our perceptions, in a sense, color our judgment.
Absolutely, absolutely. They do color our judgment. And then what happens is they also color our interactions and our behavior and our relationships and our lives in totality. And that is unfortunate, because if we are carrying something which is not even the truth or the reality in the truest sense, and then if we are basing our life on that, imagine what a life is it that we are creating, because the foundations of it are not as strong. So every now and then we have to clean. Clean what?
Our lenses.
Our lenses. Where are our lenses? Inside our mind, right? The thoughts that we have, the beliefs that we have, we need to check them. Are the preferences that we have, the likes that we have, In yoga, there is a sutra in which they talk about what it is that colors our perception. So they talk about avidya as being one of the biggest one, the mother of all kleshas. Kleshas is in the impurities of the mind. So avidya is one, asmita is another, raga is another, dvesha is another, and then abhinivesha. So these are what colors the perception, the impurities of the mind. So every now and then we need to check. Insecurities, fear, and at the most extreme, it is fear for death, for losing life. So all the fears that we have, all the insecurities that we have, the likes and the dislikes that we have, many a times our information is incomplete. We are ignorant about many things. And then of course, there's the ego. So all of this, of course we will have dirty lenses. So every now and then we need to check that. And we need to take our own responses with a pinch of salt. Because what I'm saying now might not be the same that I'm saying tomorrow. But can it be? And if it is that it can be, we need to work consciously and deliberately. That will definitely empower us. Right? I'll take it forward. There's a fun activity. I need a volunteer. So any one person, please raise your hand. No volunteer? Come on. हाँ? यहाँ से भी कोई उठा था? आपका हाथ उठने वाला था? मुझे लगा तो था. आप देख भी नहीं रहे मेरी तरफ. देखो तो. All right, wonderful. What's your name? Rafia. Okay. Shrajan, may I? Thank you. All right, Rafia. So what we're going to do now is, it's a very simple activity and you can keep sitting there and I can keep sitting here. I will basically say a few letters of the alphabet. And you have to bring them together and pronounce them in whichever way you think they can be pronounced. Not necessarily will it be a word, will it be a sensical word. Okay? May I? All right. So T, W, A. Tawa. Okay. T, W, E. T, Twi. All right. Twi. T, W, I. Tavi. All right. T, W, A, H. Tawa. All right. Kazal. All right. T, W, O. Tavo. T, W, O. To. Okay. T, W, O. To. एक और बार बोलती हूँ हाँ. T, W, O. तवो. Okay. टू की स्पेलिंग क्या होती है मुझे जरा बताना. क्या हुआ यहाँ पे? What was happening? आपने बहुत अच्छे से किया. Well done. So, any observations? What was happening here?
Mind is looking at a repetition. It's not taking in new information. It's working on something which has happened in the past.
Correct. So it is called a conditioned response. Our perceptions are already made, right? And we are, even when it is, we have all learned the spelling from childhood to now. It took us 15 seconds, 30 seconds to change that perception. So that's good news actually. That's what I want to say. It's good news because we are all working on some perceptions that might inhibit or disempower us. Some perceptions are easy to let go of and there are many others which are very difficult to let go of. But nonetheless, the good news is that yes, we can work on them. Realizing that that is not who it is that we are and looking at them as a separate entity and then working on them. Right? But the first step is always awareness. Are we even aware? So we need to take the pause and ask ourselves time and again.
It's also scary that within 15 seconds you can be
Reprogrammed. Absolutely. 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 It is. And that is why, unfortunately, in today's world, there's so much of influx of data from every side. The television, the internet, and every place, everything. It is like bombarding us with so much information, and there's so much just being absorbed. So we need to take a pause and check for ourselves. Absolutely. So the first step is always awareness. Take a pause. टीवी चल रहा है, कुछ नहीं, मैं नहीं देख रही, बट वो जा रहा है अंदर, बहुत कुछ जा रहा है अंदर. तो लेट्स टेक अ पॉज, है ना? So, what is the mindset that I'm talking about? I'm talking about a mindset which is open and curious. एक नई information हमें मिल रही है, तो हम उसके लिए open हैं. We are not stringent and we are not fixed. This is my perception, this is my conditioned response, and this is the way that it will be. Because that's not going to help us. That's definitely going to be disempowering. So what is it that we can do? We can be open. We can work on our openness. There are ways in which we can be open. But हमें decide करना पड़ेगा पहले. Once we decide, we will find a way. So, to be open, to be curious, to be appreciative, kind, authentic, all these things, and so much more. And each one of them can be worked on consciously. Taking it forward. In fact, there's this sutra from the Yoga Sutras, in which Patanjali speaks of Atha Yoga Anushasanam, which basically means right now starts the exposition on yoga. So Atha is now. Right? So he's also the first sutra, and the first word there is Atha. And for me, when I look at it as so much of importance to the now. He's not talking about the past. He's not talking about the future. He's saying now. Now starts the journey. So आप कहीं पे भी हैं, whatever burdens we may be carrying, or whatever aspirations we may be having, if we decide, we can start that journey right now. To be more integrated within our own selves, to know ourselves better, to be more aware. Right? So that is how important it is now and here. So am I here? Am I present? Because sometimes what happens, कुछ हो रहा है, हम हैं भी और हम नहीं भी हैं, हम कहीं और हैं, तो आधी जिंदगी तो ऐसे ही निकल जाती है कि हम हैं भी नहीं वहाँ पे, तो वो क्या जिंदगी हुई? If we really want to live our lives, let's be more aware. Where are we? More conscious, more deliberate, more deep. है ना? Let's take it forward. So the different aspects that he brought out in this, to befriend our own selves, it's auspicious. Let's be mindful of what's happening within us, with also outside of us. Let's be disciplined, because discipline के बगैर तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. So discipline is one of the most important prerequisites on any journey that we undertake. And there has to be a readiness and commitment. So all of these and so much more. All right. Now we come to the second question. What was the first question? Who remembers it? Wonderful. Second question. Again, very important, I feel. What are my resources? Now I've undertaken this journey. I'm a little aware. I've started on this journey. And the goal is lofty. It's like the Himalayas that I have to climb. The Himalayan mountains of my own mind. Right? Of my own emotions. It's the most unsurmountable and the most important one to be mounted. Yet. So, if we were to talk about what are these resources, we have to ask ourselves this question. And those resources are within us. So, whatever resource that we need to be able to live our lives in a divine way, in a holistic way, in an empowered way, the resources lie right here. And that is a belief that we can instill in ourselves as well. Right? Sometimes what happens is, I want you to focus on this particular image, the visual that comes in. We see that there's this, the sails are hoisted and there is this particular ship that is going in, right? I'll take it forward. Now imagine this is the sea, this is the boat, right? Unfortunately, it has a leak. Will it go forward? It won't go forward, right? Unless we repair it. But even if I repair it, will it go forward? Absolutely, we need something else. We need many things. We need the sails, we need this particular thing which helps it not to topple, right? So there are many things that are needed. But unfortunately in our own lives, sometimes what we do is we focus on our weaknesses. This is not working with us, the leak. Like in the boat, sometimes we focus on what is not working. And हम पूरी मशक्कत करके ना उसको कोशिश करते हैं ठीक करें, कुछ करें. और वो हो भी जाता है. But फिर भी, we are not reaching our pure potential. Why? Because we have not hoisted our authentic values in place. And for that we need to know what they are. What are our strengths? Right? What are the principles that I live for? And till the time I don't hoist them, even if I repair the leaks that are within my own system, I'll not be able to move ahead. So yes, it's important to repair on the leak there, the hole, but it's equally important or even more important to also look at how it is, what our strengths are, and how it is we can put them in place to be able to get the outcome that we are aspiring for. Right? So just don't focus on the weaknesses, because each one of us has bountiful of strengths. So the question here is also, do we all know our strengths? And there are so many of them. Because if we know them, then on a day-to-day basis, we'll give ourselves platforms to be able to use it. We'll make opportunities to use. So the question is, what are my strengths? And how can I use them into action? What are my resources? चलो पूछें, अपने आप को जानते हैं ना? बहुत जरूरी है. Okay? Done deal? पूछेंगे? या अभी बोल रहे हैं और बाद में भूल जाएंगे? No. देखो, अगर पूछेंगे ना तो किसका फायदा होगा? हमारा ही होगा. तो पूछ लेते हैं. ठीक है? We come to the third question. And the question is, the first one was? Second? And the third one is right here, what is the outcome that I aspire? What is the outcome I aspire for? Because having a clear goal, a clear vision is very important. And in fact, there's a beautiful quote here, again, from the mother. I'd request someone to read it. Who would like to read it? Please go ahead. I'll give you the mic so that everyone can read. Listen to it loud.
An aimless life is always a troubled life. Every individual should have an aim. But do not forget that the quality of your aim will depend on the quality of your life. Your aim should be high and wide, generous and disinterested. This will make your life precious to yourself and to others. Whatever the ideal, it cannot be perfectly realized unless you have realized perfection in yourself.
How beautiful is that, isn't it? Thank you. So very clear, an aimless life is always a troubled life. So what is the purpose? What is our aspiration? What is the aim? What is the whole purpose of my existence? Let's find that out. And how can we find that out? कई बार मुश्किल से मिलता है आंसर, लेकिन पूछना तो वाजिब है. पूछेंगे ही नहीं तो मिलेगा ही नहीं, तो पूछ तो ले ही. और उस क्वेश्चन के साथ में थोड़ा बैठते हैं. There is always that start that we have to give, right? And then of course it unfolds in its due time. Now this is some pictures. Yeah.
I have a question.
I'll take it that way.
So, it's written your aim should be high and wide, generous and disinterested. Can you explain disinterested in the sentence?
Yes. Absolutely. When we talk about sometimes, जैसे अगर मैं कोई भी काम कर रही हूँ, तो उसके साथ में मेरा कनेक्शन इतना कई बार डीप हो जाता है कि आई लूज माई ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, आई एम इन अ वे टू पैशनेट, आई एम attached, that's the word. So in a way can we be non-attached to it? So from a perspective कर्म योग जिसे हम कहते हैं कि हमें अपना काम करते चलना है, हमारा एम भी है, वो हमें करना भी है, हमें वहां तक पहुंचना भी है, लेकिन हम उससे बंधे हुए नहीं, है ना? अब वो तो बड़ी ही मुश्किल बात है, वैसे बोलना बड़ा आसान है, लेकिन देखो आपने ये पढ़ा और सिर्फ मात्र इस पढ़ने से आपके अंदर एक जागरूकता पैदा हुई कि ये क्या है, डिसइंटरेस्टेड हो जाऊंगी तो मैं करूंगी कैसे उस एम को, वो, और आपने अपने आप ही सोचा और खुद ही बोला इज इट अबाउट नॉन अटैचमेंट और इज इट अबाउट ऑल दैट, राइट? तो इतना मात्र करने से ही इतना कुछ हो गया है, तो आप सोचिए कि अगर इसी पे और आगे चलेंगे तो हम वो कर भी लेंगे. इट इज डिफिकल्ट, नो डाउट, इट इज चैलेंजिंग. थैंक यू. So right now what I want us to do is, आपके पास में phones जो भी है ना, उसमें share a recent picture of yourself or someone you're interacting with, an activity that you're doing, anything. So share a recent picture from your phone, seeing which you're reminded of, either a joyful moment, maybe an engaging activity that you were involved in, or a meaningful experience that you had. So can you take your phones quickly, 10 seconds, pick up a picture and just... I get it, please do. Nila, can you please tell me what the time is? I have no track of time.
It's 12:30.
12:30? So we have time till 1?
Yeah.
All right. So if you've taken them out, I'd like to see. All right, and what does this, why this picture? Why is it so important for you?
Peace and time with self.
Ah, lovely. So that's what it stands for. Peace and time.
That is why it was captured.
Ah.
To see it and feel it again.
So in that moment, the peace that you felt, that is what you've captured through this. Wonderful. Aha! आप तो ढोल बजाते हो?
I enjoyed a lot. First time I tried this,
हाँ जी.
but I enjoyed a lot.
तो आप लेके आओ. आपके पास है यहाँ?
नहीं.
अच्छा, but आप मतलब.
There is a program on Vaisakhi and there are lots of roles. First time I tried it and I enjoyed a lot. That's why I captured it. It is very special.
Lovely. So there's a beautiful picture in which she's, you know, एकदम मस्ती में ढोल बजा रही है. Very nice. May I?
It's a mother. Art of writing. So I was to like dress up with her, spend time with her. It's very
Lovely. So family is important, isn't it? Lovely. Yes, may I? Only if you want to share. Oh, it's a rabbit. A cuddly rabbit. Wow. Is it your pet? And it's at home? Not here. So you must be missing him too? Okay. Who's taking care of it? Anyone else here? Oh, itni खोज. All right. Anyone this side who would like to share? Lock हो जाता है ना कई बार.
I've gone to I met my auntie. She's 80, she's enjoying it.
Wow, amazing.
Lovely. She's very deep, but she was a learning thing in high school.
Nice. And that moment must have been so special, no? So she's your auntie.
Yeah, Masi.
Masi.
Very Masi.
Lovely. Thank you.
Oh, it's FaceTiming my dog every single day.
She's okay. This is very interesting. She's FaceTiming with a dog.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
No, but it's actually very resourceful. I mean, आपने किसी न किसी तरीके से वो connect बना रखा है. Does he respond to you on FaceTime?
No.
Right.
But it's still like there's so much unconditional love that it's crazy.
And I'm sure he would listen to your voice and that would make an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. She. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's just a photo of a place of landscape. It's beautiful. I explore a few things. Adventure is important, is it? Or is it something else? Adventure. That's a value that you uphold, right? It's important for you. As is connection with animals or your pet specifically, that connect is important to you. I'm going to come back as much as I want to see everyone's picture, but I will see only one or two.
This creativity, students were drawing this picture on the wall on the floor.
Oh, yes, I have seen this.
They were just painting it and I
Wonderful. What does this picture speak to you?
actually I have quite a few moments like that in the last 2 weeks I have been on the campus, but the youth and the energy and the creative energy and it's actually inspiring.
This empowered youth that you look at, the energy that they have, this is important to you. You value that, right? Amazing. I come close, I can't see it. ये तो यहीं का है ना? हाँ जी. What is happening? Tell me more.
So we're filming promo videos for a course that I run, and this was a 30-second video that we filmed. No, this finally did not make it through. This got left on the cutting floor. But the reason this is still meaningful is that this is literally the first time that I put my face before a camera and spoke into a camera for a wider audience. So I hope that next time I do this, I do it better so it ends up on social media feeds everywhere.
Yes, way to go, way to go. And this reminds you, specifically when you look at it, is it bravery that speaks to you, that you were brave enough to do that even though it was the first time, or is it you were on a mission and you just had to, and whatever it took you did? What is it?
It's part of an ongoing journey to stop being camera shy, stop being crowd shy. So I started with Toastmasters back in Chennai, and this is just an ongoing effort in that direction.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you for sharing. Sitting with someone and reading a book.
So this was a few weeks back. I was interviewed in Ladakh. It was a super chill day. And there's no sense of classroom or anything. Children can just go sit under the tree or in the courtyard. So it's as free as that. And there's this element of learning, sharing. Children come to you with like hundreds of questions. And yeah, they're so curious. And the environment is so full of learning. And yeah, it was a cold day, but the experience was very warm. So yeah, memorable.
Amazing, thank you. So this curiosity, this connection with the children, that's important for you. That's the warmth, even in a chilly day, right? Wow, amazing. So why are we doing this? Yes, wow, ये तो बेर है ना? अरे वाह.
I want to speak about it 2 days before, on the Mother's Day. I learned for the first time that the fruits can be eaten. So that was a joyful moment for me. I plucked and then ate. So how I got engaged, engaging activity was, I tried to pluck as many fruits as I could, but I didn't have anything to, pick up. So I plucked it in 2 leaves and then made a paper leaf cup, and then collected all these fruits. Then I was curious also. I was excited to give these fruits to all because I want to share. So I got to the dining room and then I shared it with many who ate for the first time, the people. And then every time I cross the people tree, I stop by and then pick up some fruits and eat it.
Amazing.
And then I keep sharing this with everyone, that you can eat people.
Wow, wow.
You can eat.
So, even the leaf of that tree, is it? Oh. So, इतनी छोटी सी ये एक क्वेश्चन हमने अपने आप से पूछा और हमने एक तस्वीर निकाली जैसे. Even through that, there's so much that we learn about our own selves. What do we value? Love for learning, curiosity. It's important for you to connect. Now, if you don't give yourself that, you're not being authentic. So you have to create opportunities on a day-to-day basis to be able to do that. जैसे संपत भाई हैं, इन्होंने बोला it's important for me to share. Right? So even through this small little picture, we see the value that he stands for. Sharing is important. His connection with nature. To take a pause and to be able to see that tree. And to make a connection with the tree, with nature. And then share the fruits. That is what he stands for. We know that, right? So, ऐसे ही हम सब ने कुछ जो भी choose किया है ना, that's important to us. But we have to go to the essence. Why is it important to us? What is the value that is coming out of it? And the moment it is that value is what we know, we can sprinkle it across our life. To be more authentic, to be more us, to be more joyful, to be more purposeful. You know? So these are the pictures that I have taken. So that's me, of course. I love music, and that is my Tanpura. So I'm very much at peace. It connects me to some kind of divinity. It's very spiritual an experience for me. That's my little one. And during the lockdown, I was giving him a haircut. So his hair has just, grown so much. And I'm giving him a haircut, and he's very excited about that. And that's us on the beach. Those fun times. And of course, those are the wind chimes. This is in Pondicherry, actually. And that sound and the tree and the sun, coming out of the leaves. It just puts me at so much peace and happiness and joy. What beauty surrounds us. What a wonderful world it is. Yeah? And it surrounds us on a day-to-day basis, but sometimes we don't see it. So let's be more aware and full of gratitude for what it is that surrounds us, within and without. I'll take it forward. So why I'm sharing this one particularly is because it helps us. Somewhere down the line, there are many of us who know what our purpose is, and there are many of us who are still struggling to find what do I aspire for? What is the goal of my life? And these things can help us to gain an insight into our own selves. What are the values and the principles that I stand for, and how is it that I can give myself a lot more of that on a day-to-day basis, creating opportunities and platforms, right? So what are my values? So pretty much on the similar lines, if you're sitting in your house, pick up an object that you think is really important, that you cherish, and ask yourself that question, why? Why did you pick that? Why is it important? Asking these questions, reflecting within yourself about these things will give us an insight into so much more about who we are. Another way of doing that could also be, what are your 3 wishes? Aladdin's lamp. Let's make it a little fun. And there's one question that I think is most important, and it kind of changed my life and every interaction the moment I asked myself that question deeply. Because sometimes you ask these questions and they're just peripheral, but sometimes you sit with them and you try to, just answer them truthfully. And that question was, what is the legacy that I want to leave behind? And that kind of really spoke to me. And since that day, the interactions that I have are more ichigo-ichi. So it could be any of these, because these are triggers. There's no one formula that can help us know ourselves better. But these are triggers that can help us go deeper, reflect, contemplate, introspect, which is important. And for that we have to pause. Press that button of awareness. Yes? I'll take it forward. I'd like someone to read this. Raise your hand. Yes.
Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, let's be deliberate, like we started off by saying, right? I'll take it forward. coming back to the Yoga Sutras again, there's this beautiful sutra. In the Yoga Sutras, the first 4 sutras also, if we kind of go deeper into, there is so much wisdom that we can get out of it. Atha yoganusashanam, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam, and yoga, this is the one that I'm talking about now. Vritti sarupya mitaratra, that's the 4th one. So let's take this one. So the first one we did, no? Atha yoganusashanam, this now starts the journey. Then he talks about what is yoga. Chitta vritti nirodha. What does that mean? There are modifications in the mind. There are fluctuations in the mind. There are big waves in the mind. There are ripples in the mind, which cloud it to the extent that we are not able to see the world clearly. Our own inside world and the outside world. So can we kind of subdue those fluctuations and make that instrument, the mind, what it is really made for, the purpose? Can we bring it to that point? And that is what Patanjali talks about here. And for some, that is a purpose. And in a way or not, that is a purpose for all of us. Right? So we come to the 4th question. What was the first one? Second one? 3rd? Absolutely. What do I aspire for? And this is the 4th one. What empowers me towards my aspiration? That means, for example, we are looking at this particular, this map of how to make this house, right? So we are designing it. So how can I design my life such that I reach my purpose, my aspiration? How do I design my life such that I use the resources to be able to reach that? Right? So what is the design? What is the plan that I have? Right? What empowers me? What is all that empowers me towards? So on a day-to-day basis, what is that design that I have? Because only if that is clear, will the actual thing be real. The manifestation of that will only be possible if there is some kind of a visualization in the mind, some idea. So what kind of thoughts, what kind of emotions, what kind of behavior empowers me towards that goal? Right? That's a question we have to ask. And very beautifully said, this is an idea which is so life-changing. People are disturbed not by things, but the views they take on them. Because the same thing for some person may not be as irritating, but for one more person, it might be so disheartening or disturbing, right? So the views that we have, let's check them. Are they healthy? Are they empowering? Are they joyful? And if it is that we come across something which is not, what do? There's a beautiful statue of David. There's a whole story about the David and Goliath, right? Some of us might have heard it. If not, we'll search for it and look it up on Google somewhere. Fine? Can we do that? Yeah. So in that, this is a sculpture that has been done by Michelangelo. And I had the fortune of going and seeing it in person. And when I saw it, I was taken aback because it seems so real. I mean, the nerves that you see on the neck, the eyes, I mean, the intent in the eyes, it is so real. It seems like David has come to life. And no one else could have done it better than Michelangelo. And every person, all these interviewers asked him, how did you, do this? So, you know what he said? He said, it is easy. You just chip away the stone that doesn't look like David. You want to say something? I can see that you really want to say something. Please do.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Like, to chip away the stone, we need to know the David.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And that is awareness. What are the values? I hope I'm not chipping away my real value, the authentic self. So that's important. And therefore the chipping has to be deliberate, conscious, aware. Yes? Last question. We've made it till the last question. Yay! Big round of applause for all of us. what we'll do is before the last question, we'll just get up once. A quick activity. Let's stretch. All these things can be a little heavy sometimes, and we need to kind of just infuse ourselves with a little bit of energy. All right, up in the air. High up in the air. Down below. As far as you can go. On the sides, open wide. Yeah, we're flying high. Lovely. All right. The neck, let's look right and then left and up and then down. Lovely. What else do we want to do? Do we want to jump? Yes. If you've said it, we have to do it. Whoever wants to, you're most welcome to. All right? All right, jump as high as you can. You're not jumping. Come on, jumping jacks. Come on, come on. All right, that's it. Now one last thing. Okay? As high as you can go. You have to take your hands as high as you can go. Come on, you can do better. और जाएगा थोड़ा सा तो जाएगा और come on, come on. No problem. No, whoever is comfortable. ये हुई ना बात. ये अच्छा जब मैं आऊंगी बस ऐसे करते हैं उसके बाद में टोटल नीचे. अच्छा वेरी गुड. आप तो गजब ऊपर गए हो. Lovely.
Good job.
Nice. अरे वाह. वाह वाह वाह. Very nice. सब पहुंच गए ऊपर एकदम. Very good. चलो अब नीचे आ जाते हैं. Lovely. Refreshed? Woken up? All right. So we come to the last question. But before that, हमने ये एक्टिविटी की, उससे हमने क्या सीखा? मैं छोड़ती नहीं. हाँ, सोचो.
From this activity that we did, this activity or the whole session?
नहीं, अभी जो हम ये कर रहे थे ना.
Bringing our senses and mind into the present moment. And breaking the monotony. Many things.
ठीक है. तो मतलब हम कर सकते हैं ये नहीं? बहुत easy था. कई बार ऐसे we feel, no? So it's just a matter of giving ourselves a little break and refreshing ourselves. Any ideas here? नहीं? चल रहा है दिमाग में कुछ तो चल रहा है. बोल ही दो.
So very easy. I kind of think it's very difficult, but it isn't.
It isn't.
Yeah.
So
break the pattern.
Lovely. Good. Ajay, you were saying something?
I think it's good to move and it's good to get the circulation back.
Absolutely, absolutely. बिल्कुल. ऐसी ही एक और एक्टिविटी मैं करती हूँ जिसमें कि क्या होता है. Can I have 3 volunteers? Come. You have to stand here. So Shravan, and we can be here. All right. Okay. I need one more person who can help me. Just keep a check on what we are doing. One person, come. Okay. बड़ा simple काम है. And we are all observers. हमारा बड़ा interesting काम है. हमें सिर्फ observation करनी. सारी मशक्कत ये करने वाले हैं. ठीक है. A big round of applause for them because they are going to do this hard work. Okay. क्या काम है? बहुत simple काम है. आप जितना ऊंचा हो सकते हैं उतना ऊंचा हो जाइए. हाथ के साथ में. So for example, which ring can you touch? Okay. पक्का? Best था आपका?
Can you use other stuff?
I didn't put any restrictions.
I'm going to use the table actually.
I didn't put any restrictions.
I could have named actually me a sister.
I like that. All right. All right. Please go ahead. Yes.
Get the chair definitely.
All right. We get the message. We get the message. All right. तो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि किसी ने कहीं किया, किसी ने कहीं किया, किसी ने कहीं किया, इसमें से कोई विनर है?
No.
क्यों नहीं है?
All three of them did their best. They have different heights. Yeah. To their capacity, they did the maximum.
So they're all winners. They're all winners. Absolutely. A big round of applause for them. अब ये बात हमें यहाँ कितने अच्छे से समझ में आती है, लेकिन अपनी लाइफ में ना हम क्या करते हैं? Comparisons. वो तो ये कर रहा है, मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया अपनी लाइफ में, वो देखो कितने पैसे कमा रहा है, वो देखो क्या कर रहा है, वो देखो क्या कर रहा है, पता नहीं क्या क्या चीजें, all these comparisons, you know. बट ऐसा कभी कंपैरिजन आए ना माइंड में, तो ये इन तीनों की मूरत और सूरत ध्यान कर लो, ठीक है? ऑलराइट, थैंक यू. बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर देम अगेन एंड थैंक यू. So no to comparisons, huh? All right. So we come to the last question. How are we on time, Nila? हो गया? क्या बात कर रहे हो? Chalo, we'll wrap it up with this last question. And the last question is, how can I be useful for others? First question क्या था? Second? Wonderful. Third? हाँ जी? हाँ, okay. Fourth? What empowers me towards my aspiration? How do I design a life towards my aspiration? And this is the fifth one. And this is how can I be useful for others? क्योंकि मैंने ये सब कर लिया, तो अब what can I do? Right? So there's that aspect of harmony. I've harmonized my life within. I have an integrated life within. Now let me have that harmony even outside. Because like we know, we are not individual islands. So what different colors paint the canvas of my life? We found that out. We've kind of put an awareness to that, deliberate, deep, delightful awareness to that. Very consciously so, we worked towards that. We made it a practice. और ये colors अब जैसे सारे मिल गए हैं, हमने वो सारे colors को वो कर दिया है कि मुझे पता है मेरे ये color है, ये color है, ये color है. तो मुझे जो painting बनानी है, I can just make that painting. Right? So in the end, I'd like to say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. तो पहला कदम जो है ना हमें जो लेना है, let's take that. क्यों लेना है? So that we reach our pure potential. We perfect our instrument. If nothing else, that is a purpose that we can have. Right? And I think we come to an end. With this, awareness is the greatest agent for change. It's a reminder for us all. Let's press the pause button in favor of awareness. So, Sākṣātkāra जो है, the self, हमारा जो self है, हमें invite कर रहा है. क्यों कर रहा है? Because it wants to have this exclusive meeting. है ना? किस बारे में? हमें अपने आप को जानने के लिए. Meeting ID भी दे दी भाई, स्वाध्याय, password भी दे दिया. अवेयरनेस है ना. अटेंडीज कौन है? आप हैं. अभ्यास के साथ आइए, वैराग्यम के साथ में आए. कहाँ पे? यहीं, अभी. ड्यूरेशन फॉरएवर, इटर्नल. करेंगे? पक्का? पक्का? वंडरफुल. तो हमारा हुआ फिर साक्षात्कार, है ना. थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू. एक गाना आपको सुनना है, लेकिन मैं आपको बताऊं, मेरा गला जो पकड़, अब आप बोलेंगे हर सिंगर यही कहता है ना, लेकिन ये सच्ची हकीकत बात है. नहीं, वो है तो फिर सिंगिंग नहीं होता. जितना इम्पोर्टेंट है उतना ज्यादा. कोशिश ही करूंगी. गला वाकई में पकड़ा हुआ है. थोड़ी सी कोशिश करूंगी. ऐसे है ना? अरे वो तो बहुत ऊंचा जाएगा। गजल सुनाओ, गजल सुना। ये मेरे बड़े दिल के करीब है ये। मेरा गला अगर सही होता ना तो अब मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम जब आऊंगी तब मैं बहुत सारे गाऊंगी, बट आज के लिए क्षमा। Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Sampath bhai. It means a lot. You've been such a mentor for me, and I've learned so much from you. And I really, I'm full of so much gratitude for you to give me this platform and to give me this opportunity to have this wonderful interaction with each one of us present here. So thank you, Sampath bhai. Thank you, Nilam. Thank you for arranging everything here, and thank you for और भी कई लोग काम किए पीछे, हम कनेक्ट ही नहीं कर पा रहे थे, लेकिन बड़ी कोशिश हुई और फिर हो गया। तो बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर एवरीवन हु ऑर्गेनाइज्ड दिस। थैंक यू। Here's to many more. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful lunch, and let's get to know ourselves better.
I would like to thank you because it's been a very beautiful, engaging, and everything about it has been very nicely done, and thank you a lot. And thank you, Sampath. I think we should have more of these sessions. Thank you.
Should we have a photo? Yes.